Hi and welcome to this week's episode of The Education Show. I wanted to talk to you this week about mental health because our children are being affected in a very significant way by the current COVID situation and the management of it. In no way am I blaming schools. As you all know, I have a great deal of respect for schools and for teachers, and they are under severe pressure right now, and they're working as hard as they possibly can. However, the children are suffering, the students are suffering, the exam years are suffering because they don't know where to turn for help. Where there is help needed, the current situation in which they've got to stay safe prevents them looking for it in the same way as they would pre-COVID, in which case they'd go and find teachers outside classroom times and they'd go and they'd sit down and have a conversation. It's less possible now. Everything has to be managed to stay safe. No one can blame the schools for that, but what we can do is seek help for our students. I sat down with one yesterday who had contacted me and said that he was feeling really angry all of the time, and it worried him because in general he's a really calm, intelligent boy who channels his emotions well, but he felt out of control because he doesn't know what to do to make the situation right. How can we be putting this on kids? They're 15, 16, 17 and 18 years old. They haven't lived life enough yet to know what to do with their feelings when they feel like this. They feel out of control. They feel powerless. They don't know what to do. All we can do is help them to understand it and help them through by helping them plan and helping them feel like they're getting somewhere. I've had another student this week who suggested to me that he feels like he's on a hamster wheel. And that hamster wheel just keeps going, and every time he feels like he's getting somewhere and getting to the end of an idea or a piece of work, then another appears. And he doesn't know if anything that he's doing is going to help him when it comes down to the exams next summer. It doesn't help, of course, that the situation hasn't been resolved, with Wales being one of the 4 countries of the United Kingdom going one route and cancelling GCSEs, and with England still saying GCSEs are going ahead, and Scotland haven't really said either way yet, and neither has Northern Ireland. So what happens next? What can we tell them? My advice to you is to tell your children to continue as if things were normal. Okay? So continue to prepare, and continue to prepare in a way that they would be giving their best that they have. That's not overwhelming themselves with work that they wouldn't normally be able to do, because that's just going to lead to burnout. But build up towards it. Prepare as if you were preparing. I always say to my kids, prepare as if you were preparing for an athletic meet. You know, if you were preparing as an athlete, you would instill a level of discipline that takes you towards your goal. That is the way that you should prepare for exams. You should follow, I would always recommend the 5-step system that takes you through each step of preparation, and you follow it over and over again for each subject. What it does is it helps you to plan your time. It helps you to make the use of the time, of which there is very little this year. So you haven't really got time to spend writing notes about things that you don't really need for your assessment. It helps you build the skills that you need for the assessment, because knowledge is something that we all hold on our phones. We all have Dr. Google, don't we? So they don't need to spend time writing that out aimlessly. What they need to work out are ways of using it, ways of doing critical thinking, ways of knowing how to build an argument, ways of justifying. All of these skills are skills that they can't find just by writing notes. The 5-step plan will help them towards building the skills that are necessary to be assessed. But one thing I'd like to make very clear, it's important that they have leisure time, because otherwise they're running on that hamster wheel, as it was described to me. They're not making the progress, obviously, that they want to make. And while they're not making that obvious progress and they're not seeing where they're going and they're not sure where they're heading, that will lead to burnout, that will lead to mental health issues, that will lead to a demotivated student. That's not the way we work. It's our duty, first of all, as I said last week, to write to your MP and to ensure that that MP knows there is a situation that needs to be resolved. Don't hold back. Let them know how it's affecting your child and that you want something done. They are elected officials. Secondly, we can hold conversations with them, teach them critical thinking, teach them how to build an argument, listen and respond. That's all they need to know, how to respond, how to justify. All of these skills can come into everyday learning. The higher level skills can come from following the plan. So once again, I'll repeat, the 5-step plan takes students through a process that plans out the revision that they need to get done, shows them what they know already so that they know what to do, where to spend their time. It also shows them all of the skills that are needed. It shows them how to look at a mark scheme and how to make sense of it so they know that they're making headway and they're getting feedback and they know how to interpret that feedback even when their teachers are unable to provide to them in a timely way. And lastly, it teaches them how to relax and the importance of relaxation, because there's no point in having a highly qualified child who's burnt out. It's an important concept and I hope I've made it clear this week, but we'll continue to discuss it and we'll continue to look at ways forward. And if you have any questions, either you or your child, you can DM me directly, or you can visit the website and ask for a consultation, which is free, no obligation, and we can talk through the issues and talk through potential solutions. Remember, it's free, no obligation. I will talk to you again next week. Take care now.